The book that I'm reading today is called Just Ask. Be different, be brave, be you. And I think this book is really cool because we're going to learn that sometimes when we see things that are different or that we're curious about, all we got to do is ask. And that's really cool because this book is going to talk about different people coming together to create something amazing. And I'm really, really excited to read about it with all of you. So let's go ahead and get started. Just ask. Did I say? I'm sorry. This book is written by the first Latina Supreme Court Justice, Sonia Sotomayor, and it's illustrated by Rafael Lopez. So it's going to be really great. And I'm excited to share it with you. Alrighty. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry, and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot, while others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you're curious about other kids, just ask. And here we have that awesome picture. Looks like they're making a garden, huh? I see shovels and plants, and there's a bunny right here. It's going to be a nice garden, I can tell. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? I do sometimes. Sometimes I take vitamins, and those help me be healthy. What about you? I do. My name is Rafael, and I have asthma, which means sometimes I have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and I use my inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use tools to help your body? I use tools to help my body. Sometimes I use glasses and they help me see better. What about you? Do you ever use tools to help your body? I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? So cool. Right here we have Anthony, and he's hanging out in his wheelchair. And look at all those tire marks all over the place. It looks like he does go super fast, huh? That's really cool. How do you get from place to place? Maybe you use your legs. Maybe you use a wheelchair like Anthony. Maybe you use crutches. There's lots of ways to get around. My name is Madison, and my guide dog Lucky helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? So lots of times at the museum we talk about using our observation eyes, but there's lots of ways we can observe things, right? We can taste things with our tongues, and we can feel things like a smooth page with our fingers. There's lots of ways to observe. I'm Vijay. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? So right here in the middle, we have Vijay, and he's teaching us something new, which is really cool. So today we're all going to learn a little bit of American Sign Language, and Vijay is showing us the ASL word for tree. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to get one hand like this, and then we're going to get the hand that we write with, and we're going to stick it like this so we have the ground, and then we have a tree sticking out of the ground, and then we're going to wave the leaves like they're blowing in the wind. And now we all know how to say tree in ASL, which is super cool. We're all learning new languages. Let's see. Oh, and Vijay says, I also love reading and writing. What about you? I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia, so I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? I'm sure each and every one of us is very good at something. Maybe you're good at reading. Maybe you're good at doodling like Bianca. I don't know. Could be good at a lot of things. Let's see what happens next. Ooh. I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? Yeah. So Jordan knows all about dinosaurs, and I've met many kids at the museum that know all about dinosaurs. Maybe you know all about something. Maybe you know a lot about the ocean. Maybe you're good at math. What do you like to talk about? For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is An, and I speak with a stutter, so sometimes I repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? So right here we have our friend An, and right here, what is that? Looks like a little cricket, huh? And An is a very good listener, so she's probably listening to the noises that the cricket's making. What kind of noises do crickets make? They kind of sound like cricket, 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 right? Or chirp, chirp, chirp. Can you make a noise like a cricket? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or I make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but that's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? I know I can feel frustrated sometimes. And what's that? That's an owl. Let's make some owl noises. Woo, woo. I love owls. My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. Well, my teachers and friends are patient with me if I forget something or get distracted. I can get myself back on track. What's helpful for you? So for Manuel, it's really helpful when people are patient with him, and usually he's able to get himself back on track. What's helpful for you? I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it's nut-free because I'm allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even on accident. So, I always tell people about my allergy and I ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. How do you use your voice? So it looks like we have a friendly squirrel here offering Nolan a nut. And Nolan's using his voice. He's saying, "No, thank you. I'm allergic. That would not be very healthy for me." Way to use your voice, Nolan. How do you use your voice? I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies. But we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? Yeah, I love to ask questions too, and so do scientists. Everything that we know at the museum, we know because someone asked the question, just like Grace. It's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like all these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? Wow. And that's the end, my friends. Look it. They've created a beautiful garden. And I see flowers. I see many different kinds of flowers. And I see a tree. And I see grasses and leaves. And all these different plants come together to create a beautiful, healthy habitat for animals. What animals do we see? I see a bunny and an owl and a butterfly. There's a cricket right there. We met that cricket earlier, which is really, really cool. So just like the garden, each of the characters in the book is different too. And because of that, they each had something unique that they can offer. They each have their own power. And the last question in the book asks, what will you do with your power? So I thought it'd be fun if we could all draw what our powers were. I think one of my powers is that I'm good at reading. So I get to use my powers every time I read to you for story time, which is super fun. So I decided to draw me reading. That's me. This is me. And that's y'all. Those are kids listening to story time. And that's me pointing at the book. And the kids have tons and tons of questions, which I said also earlier is another superpower that everyone has, which is awesome. But maybe you have a different power. Maybe you're good at singing, or maybe you're good at dancing. Maybe you're a talented artist. Whatever it is, go ahead and doodle it, and you can share it with the grown-up. And maybe you could even ask your grown-up what their powers are. And that's a way that you can learn too. You never know what you're going to learn. So that's it for story time today, my friends. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next week.